Yep, it's me again, the old witch, mistress of the haunt of fear. As you know, each time we meet, I light the fire under my cauldron and cook up a tasty tale of terror just for you. So settle back, my evil brew's almost done. Tuck your shrouds under your chins and I'll ladle out the mad morsel of morbidity I call the monster in the ice. My story begins far out on the lonely stretches of the barren frozen waste that is the Arctic. In a small shack half covered with ice and snow, a middle-aged geologist sits at an equipment-cluttered table. The door swings open and a blast of freezing air sweeps through the shack.
Back so soon, Campbell? I thought you'd be gone another 2 hours at least. Blasted Eskimo. Superstitious idiot. When I told him where I wanted to go, he refused to take me. Started howling some gibberish about the monster in the ice. What? A monster in the ice? Are you sure that was what he said? Of course I'm sure. I understand him as well as you. Perhaps you can talk to him, Dawson. You know how much we need those readings. I'll try. I'll see what I can do. Gerald Dawson dresses in the awkward, bulky fur clothing of the frozen north and moves out of the warm, snow-covered shack into the blasting wind. Leaning hard against its biting force, he stumbles toward a nearby igloo. Lomo, you in there?
Yes, Mr. Dawson. I in here. You come.
Dawson enters the snug interior of the igloo. A fire burns cheerily in the center of the ice floor. Was this about refusing to guide Mr. Campbell north of the ice field, Lomo?
No go. Never go there.
What is it? What are you afraid of?
Monster and ice. Once he roam ice fields. Kill many. Those who see it and lucky enough to get away come back out of their minds crazy. It's horrible.
Dawson returns to the shack.
Well, did you get anywhere?
The poor devil is scared silly. There seems to be something frozen in the ice out there. Some monster.
What say we go take a look, Dawson? Maybe we can convince these Eskimos how silly their superstitions are.
I figured you'd want to do that, Campbell. I had Lomo fix us up a dog sled. Come on. We'll be able to reach there and get back by nightfall. Several hours later, as the two geologists make their way across the barren northern wastes.
How much further, Dawson?
According to Lomo, it ought to be around here somewhere. Keep your eyes open.
Mush!
Suddenly, the dog sled comes to a stop. The sled dogs refuse to go on. They cower in the snow, the hair on their necks bristling. They draw back their thick lips, revealing white fangs. From their throats come deep growls.
What's gotten into those mutts?
Search me, Campbell. They won't move. Whatever is bothering them must be up ahead.
Let's hoof it.
Herbert Campbell follows his cohort across the smooth ice. Suddenly, Gerald Dawson stops. He peers wide-eyed into the ice beneath his feet.
Campbell, come here, quickly!
What is it, Gerald?
What do you see?
Look, down there.
Good Lord! There is something in the ice.
The two men stare down at the hazy form beneath the frozen surface.
Looks like a man. Big for a man, though. Can't make out his face, either.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get a pickaxe. After a few minutes, Dawson returns with an axe and begins to chop the ice in a large oblong shape around the body.
What are you going to do, Gerald?
Why, we're going to dig this monster out and bring it back with us. Probably some poor explorer's frozen remains. Soon a huge block of ice is chipped out of the ice field, a block containing the body of the Eskimo's ice monster. The ice cake is loaded on the dog sled.
Down, boy, down. Mush.
Something's bothering those sled dogs. They're acting awfully nervous. You'd think they were never near a dead body before this. Several hours later, the geologists reach camp with their find. Well, Lomo, here you are.
What? What you got there?
Take a good look, Lomo. There's your ice monster. Nothing but the remains of some poor devil who froze to death out there.
No, not true. Monster not human. Monster horrible. Anyone who see it go mad from fright.
Well, you're looking at him now. Why don't you go mad?
Cannot see face. See only hazy form. Form of large man. Face features are what drive men out of mind. My ancestors tell legend.
Legend? Bah. Help me get this block inside. We're going to get the ice off this corpse and settle this thing once and for all.
No. No. Lomo afraid. No want to see monster.
Don't be a fool, Lomo.
Even if it were a horrible monster, it can't hurt you now. It's dead. Nothing dead can harm you.
Monster not dead. Ice hold it. Chip ice away and you free it.
Listen, Lomo, enough of this rot. You start chipping away that block while Gerald and I get warmed up. Understand? And if you don't, so help me, I'll kick you out of camp without a dog or a morsel of food.
Yes, Mr. Campbell. I chip ice.
I'll be listening in the next room. I want to hear you chipping, get me? Come on, Herbert, leave the poor fellow be. He'll do it. Dawson and Campbell go into the next room of the shack and close the door. The crack of Lomo chipping away at the block of ice drips through to them as they sit warming themselves near the pot-bellied stove. You know, Herb, superstitions among native people usually have a basis in fact. Bah! Not this time. You can see that the thing in the ice is no monster. Suddenly, Gerald Dawson's face lights up. His eyes widen. Herb, did you ever read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley? No, but I saw the movie. No, I'm not talking about the Hollywood version. That was nothing like the book. In the original Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein pursued his monster, which he constructed from parts of dead corpses and living animals, to the Arctic. He never did kill the monster. It was last seen drifting away on an ice floe. Yeah, so what? When Frankenstein was first published back in the 19th century, it was rumored that the story was true. True? You mean... Suppose that thing we have in the next room is the real Frankenstein monster. Don't be foolish, Gerald. You sound like Lomo in there. That's funny, he stopped chipping. Suddenly the shack is filled with a terrorized, blood-curdling shriek. Oh! Lomo! Good Lord, come on! The two geologists burst through the door as the splintering crash of a window being smashed is heard. Look, the ice monster. It's gone. It went through that window. It's alive. Lomo, look at him. He's white as a sheet. He's babbling. He's been driven out of his mind. It must be Frankenstein's monster. What do we do? We've got to destroy it. But how? According to Shelley's novel, bullets can't stop it. It's not human. We've got to get it back into the ice, and I think I know a way. Later, outside, in the frigid Arctic wind. Keep chopping. We've got to reach the water below the ice. What's your plan, Dawson? Sooner or later, the monster will be back for us. When it does show up, one of us will act as bait. You mean stand on the edge of this hole we've cut in the ice? Right. Then, when it attacks the one who acts as bait, into the water it goes. I hope it works, Gerald. Soon the ice is chopped through and water fills the hole. Then... Listen, hear that? It's coming. Now, remember, don't look at it. You know what happened to Lomo. The lumbering hulk of the monster appears over the top of a snowdrift. It moves toward the two geologists, the hole in the ice between them. It's coming toward us. Oh my God! Oh! Don't look at it, Herb. Don't! Turn away! Herbert Campbell falls to his knees next to the hole in the ice, whimpering. The monster moves toward him. Herb, get up! Get up! Then with a shriek, the hideous thing plunges into the opening that the two geologists have chopped. Herb! We've got it! Look out, Herb! The struggling monster reaches out, clutching Herbert Campbell's leg. Herb, give me your hand! It'll drag you in! Gerald Dawson turns to help Herbert Campbell, and his eyes fall upon the gruesome monster as Campbell's hand closes around his in a vice-like grip. Good Lord! How ghastly! Little by little, the monster drags Campbell into the freezing water in an effort to climb from the hole, and Dawson, paralyzed from the glimpse of the monster's face, is dragged down with him. Yo!
Yep, the three of them went into the drink, and it didn't take long for the drink to freeze solid either. But wait! This isn't quite the end. Not quite yet. About a year later, the U.S. Air Force decides to build a base near that very spot.
One day. Look there, Major. See? Some bodies frozen in the ice. Get some men, Sergeant. We'll chop them out and see what this is all about.
Well, here we go again. At this point, I think I'll end my little tale. After all, how much horror can you fiends take? What? You can? Then you have to send for my picture, a 5x7 actual photo. The Vault Keeper's Corner contains all the information. It follows. You should pardon the expression, the text. Read it and find out how to get your copy. Now I must toddle off. I have a cooking class to attend. I'm the teacher.